Have you ever utilized the debt snowball method? That's exactly what we're going to be breaking down in today's video. Not only what it is, but exactly the methodology behind why it works. Now, when it comes to the debt snowball method, it is systematically listing out your debts from the lowest balance down to that highest balance and focusing 100% of all of your efforts onto that lowest balance. Now, when you start looking at this approach, it gives you the ability to chip away debt and eliminate it. And there is a psychological aspect behind this. The first one, of course, quick wins motivate progression. When you think of the ability to really repay that debt, when you start using this method, eliminating a debt, even if it's 50 bucks, 100 bucks on a card, it makes a big difference because all of a sudden, one of those payments are gone. This is a way to rapid fire wins and really making, getting rid of those smaller debts. You really get a taste for success and really psychologically, again, doesn't look like such a daunting progression because you are seeing progression and you are making progression. Now, this, of course, uses the factor of a lot more psychology over math. When we do relationship between the debt snowball and the debt avalanche, the avalanche, of course, mathematically is really more efficient. Again, when you're thinking of math, but when you think of psychology, it focuses on people feeling good about knocking off debt and really paying it back. And it is really the behavioral piece that keeps people focused on building it out. And this, of course, is going to lead to building financial momentum. Once you paid off a little debt, again, maybe $50, $100 on one of those little cards, then you're into the next debt. You're eliminating a monthly payment or a liability that is gone. You can cut up the credit card. It is a great feeling. When you start looking at the snowball method, it gives you the thought and really the mindset that you can tackle much larger debt. And as you start seeing it and seeing real progression, you can do it. Now, of course, this also leads to tangible results. Like I said, I do financial education and counseling, and I just did this for an individual. We were using the debt snowball method. We got one paid off, we cut up the card. We got a second one paid off, we cut up the card, giving you a very clear vision of exactly how much money you know. And those debts are being just like a check mark on a list, are being eliminated one by one, reminding you that it's all worth it. Also reminding you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Each debt that you're eliminating gives you the ability to roll it into the next debt, just like a giant snowball. Now, of course, with the debt snowball, the other reason this is so successful is it's very simple. There's nothing complex. You're not spending hours on spreadsheets. You're not working at and figuring out what interest rates you have on your cards. You are literally just taking all of your debts, putting it in there. You don't need a degree. You don't need really much of anything other than basic math. There's no complicated financial strategies in doing the avalanche, the debt snowball, super basic, super easy to understand. And of course, it does work very well. Now, when we start thinking of this, it will get you to pay in regular intervals is the next one that we focus on. So when you think of debt, a lot of people want to pay the minimum or just throw money wherever they see fit. That is the wrong way. And honestly, when for most people, you're not going to get to the point of paying off debt if you're just really throwing all your money at all of these different ones. If you have a couple bills that have, let's say, $25, $50 minimums, you're putting $75 here, you're putting $100 here. It really does not work. And really the functionality isn't there because you're really splitting hairs, putting all the money in different places. And of course, you really feel the struggle that you're not getting anywhere. You're not seeing the debt be eliminated. You're not seeing those balances come down. When you really focus on the minimum payments on all of your other debts and focus on one and only one, you can get rid of it very fast. And it is going to make sure that you feel like the needle is really moving when it comes there. Now, of course, it is really second nature. This is the way that you build discipline when it comes to financial stability and really building it long term. And of course, what goes hand in hand with financial stability is keeping your levels of stress in check. Now, according to the American Psychological Association, 72% of Americans are stressed about money at least sometime on a monthly basis. So kind of crazy that there is such a high level of stress around debt. The snowball method keeps it very simple, keeps it very stress-free, and really keeps the decision fatigue out of questioning where the money is going, out of kind of wondering exactly what you're going to pay, playing the mathematical game on where the money is going to be allocated to. And of course, this can unlock larger financial goals. When you think about paying off debt, when you start getting in the snowball method, it is going to build the muscles for future financial success. And by the time you're debt free, guess what? You can budget, you can save, You'll be set up for other goals, thinking of that emergency fund, thinking of saving for retirement. And honestly, when you think of surviving financially, getting right here to this debt free journey that we talk about, you'll be on the other side. You'll quickly realize that once you eliminate all of those debts, guess what you get to keep? Your paycheck. The hard earned dollars that you have, you are not giving it away every single paycheck, meaning you're not giving your time for money, that money going into that debt, going into the interest. The more that you can eliminate debt and the more that you can stay completely debt free gives you the ability to build the emergency fund, also gives you the ability really to live life. When you think about having the money to do whatever you want to, if it's going on vacation, more time with your family, that is where the ability to do this is when you start eliminating your financial really liabilities and starting to get into the financial planning, starting to get into the financial goals that you do have on a bigger picture. This, of course, is going to free up that cash for savings and retirement. When you think of all, again, of the big picture things, if you want to buy a house, if you want to start investing, if you want to save for your kids' education, this is now money and newfound money that you're not putting towards debt. That is going to allow you to be, again, on the other side of the fence because you can start earning interest on your money. Not only do you have kind of that emergency fund built where you don't have to rely on credit cards, you don't have to go back to debt. If you can and if you don't need to, you can stay out of debt. Once you get the feeling of being completely debt free, it is really a game changer for the rest of your life. It is really about having choices of what you can invest in, where your money is going to be utilized, what you want to do, and also have options as you're building up the financial well-being. Now, over time, it also reduces your interest cost. This was a little project that I did years ago. Looking at everything that you have in your life, we are talking about a mortgage, an auto loan, if you have credit cards, if you have unsecured lending, if you have student loan debt, taking everything that you have, and this is, again, a pretty fun experiment to see, and only going in and really building out a spreadsheet that focuses on interest. How much interest on a monthly basis are you paying for everything you have in your life? For mortgages, it's going to be a lot higher price tag. Some of us, for auto loans, it's going to be the exact same. Credit cards, of course, are very astronomical when it comes to rates, but it really makes me and helped me visualize how debt affects what I'm doing. If you look in there and let's say you're paying $600 a month in interest, and depending on how much you make, that could be a day, a week, that could even be a week or two of pay for some individuals having debt and really, again, exchanging the time for the money that you have in there. Now, of course, when you think about this, beyond the debt, so once you get to the point of utilizing the snowball method, eliminating the debt in its entirety, it really encourages financial discipline, which is what I teach. It is the financial habits that help you manage money in the future, even if you don't have an education, even if you didn't go to school, really makes a big, big difference when you think of the ability to budget and prioritize your finances. Knowing exactly where your money is going really gives you a higher sense or really a bigger purpose when it comes to your money and what you want to do with your money. This, of course, is going to provide you with a sense of control over your money. This is, again, you have kind of two types of people, and this is the one that I really explain. On one side, you have people that get paid. They pay all their bills. At the end of the month, they wonder exactly where their money went. They're trying to backtrack. They're trying to save. They're trying to borrow if there's a shortfall. The second individual is the one that gets paid, knows exactly what they're paying, where all their money is going. And then the final one is, what am I going to do with the money that's left over? Is it going for more debt repayment? Are we saving it? Are we investing it? What are we doing? It really makes and gives you a sense of control when it comes to your money. And of course, the snowball method in the final one here, it eliminates the overwhelming really feeling of debt by focusing on one thing and one thing at a time. When you start listing out those debts and even just jotting it down on a piece of paper, making a spreadsheet, jotting those down and having your debts listed, you know exactly what you owe. You got yourself into this. Now it is time to really buckle down, take some action steps and eliminate that debt. Starting with that top one, again, the lowest balance you have, eliminating that in its entirety is going to really keep you focusing on debt, going to really keep you. And what you'll realize pretty quick is that you will look and you will find a lot of places to cut expenses, even to put another $5, $10, $15 onto that debt. It is going to be kind of a game that you play with yourself when you're going in and you're eliminating your debt, seeing where you can cut costs to essentially give more to debt. And it's not going to be forever, guys. the debt. I don't want to hang around for months, even years for some individuals, even decades for some individuals. I want to make sure that the debt is being eliminated in a timely fashion. All right, guys, so that is going to do it. Exactly why the debt snowball does work. And honestly, I've used the debt snowball, I've used the debt avalanche. Both of them have worked incredibly well. And honestly, depending on who I'm doing financial counseling with, does make a big difference in the methodology that I use. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.